let's get into our awards for July. It's August 4th when we're recording this, so we've finished out the month of July, and we do this every single month, giving out players, pitchers, rookies, and surprises. Those are in each of the AL and the NL, the awards that we give out each month. Let's start it off with the National League Player of the Month. We've got the same guy. Do you want to introduce him?
It's Austin Riley. I mean, he was the player of the month. If we weren't doing leagues, he was better than anyone in the month of July. He hit .423 batting average, .459 on base percentage, getting on base basically 46% of the time that he gets up to the plate, with an .885 slugging. So they weren't cheapo hits either. He was mashing the ball with 11 home runs, 25 RBIs in the month. That's almost one for, probably is one for every game because of the All-Star break, with a .267 WRC plus in the month and a 2.6 WAR. And I said last week he was my MVP pick for the rest of the year. I wanted to see him do it, and it's looking good. It's looking good. He's on his way if he can stay hot. I mean, he had that huge walk-off double to end the month of July. I mean, this guy, I hope he can win MVP. I think there's a chance for Austin Riley to win MVP.
Well, and he just got absolutely paid. The Braves locked down another one of their young stars. They've got, as of right now, right field, second base, first base, and third base all locked up on long-term deals with Matt Olson, Acuna, Albies, and now Austin Riley. The Braves have everyone locked down. They just kind of got to sit and hope that they all hit for a while. And Austin Riley, I think he's going to do just that. One of the more notable omissions from the All-Star Game rosters, and I think he took offense to that and just went on an absolute tear. An OPS above 1,300, the 267 WRC plus, 100 is league average, and he hit 267 WRC plus. Is just absolutely insane. He doesn't play the best defense, but he's no slouch over there at third. And when you have that strong of a bat, I mean, you're clearly one of the best players in the league. Austin Riley performed like that throughout the month of July, the entire time. I might have to hop on that MVP bandwagon with you. I'm sticking with my second half pick of Juan Soto, especially now that he's in that just crazy Padres lineup. But Austin Riley, he's so good.
Yeah, he definitely is. I mean, it was a ridiculous month. Another guy who had a ridiculous month in the AL and seems like he's just adding to his ridiculous season was Aaron Judge, who hit .333 in the month with a .446 on-base percentage and .806 slugging. Geez, so with the 13 home runs, it seems like every time he was getting up to the plate, it was bomb, bomb, bomb. I mean, and after the All-Star break, he just went crazy. He had 2 home runs in a game. He had a walk-off home run the next day. It seemed like another home run the next day. 32 RBIs in the month. 5 stolen bases from Aaron Judge in the month. So he's running a little bit. And a 247 WRC plus and a 2.4 WAR for him. I mean, I gave my MVP prediction to Shohei to keep it up, but 2 days after that, Aaron Judge hit 3 home runs in 2 days. I said, I'm changing it. If that's against the rules, I don't care. Aaron Judge, I mean, you got to give this MVP to him at this point. If he keeps this up, this is ridiculous what he's doing.
I mean, this is like Barry Bonds level home run hitting. There's a chance that he goes out and breaks the single season home run record. It reminds me a lot of the Pete Alonso year, but he plays center field for the best team in baseball, and we're still in the early days of August. And he's at, is he at 44 now? It feels like every day. It's Aaron Judge hit 39. Next day, 40 and 41. And then 42 the next day and 43. And it's he just keeps hitting home runs. And he hits outside of home runs as well. He's still keeping up a great batting average, great on-base percentage, and he's still one of the best teams in baseball. I'm not a Yankees fan despite the hat, but Aaron Judge is having a phenomenal year. I want to take this time to say that, there's a team that needs to add a little bit to keep up with the Dodgers and Padres in their division. Looking to add a hometown kid if Aaron Judge wants to come sign with the Giants this offseason. This is the Yankees' best year. If they don't win the World Series, are they ever going to with Aaron Judge in New York? I don't know. He could come over and play in the NL West. Beautiful weather out here on the West Coast. It's here in the middle of August. It's sunny and nice outside. Aaron Judge can come join the Giants if he wants.
Yeah, I'll believe that when it happens, if the Giants are willing to pay Aaron Judge numbers. But, I mean, yeah, he is going to get paid, wherever that is. He's going to get his paycheck. He earned it after declining that extension, it was no cheapo extension that he declined either. He's bet on himself, and he was right to bet on himself.
Yeah, well, Farhan, also, if you don't want to pay Aaron Judge, I'll just remind you, 247 WRC plus, league average is 100. It might be worth the money. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, whatever he gets, it'll be worth it. But getting into our pitchers now, we got our two hitters, or players, I guess we call it. So, I mean, pitchers could win that player of the month. We haven't given to one yet, but now getting into the pitcher of the month, do you want to start us off with the NL?
Yes, I almost went with the guy you have. And I thought, okay, he's my pick if I'm going with a starting pitcher. But do I go with the relief pitcher? We don't give out a reliever of the month award. But I don't think that the guy I went with, I don't think any reliever in all of time could have a better month than he had. And so I decided to give him an NL pitcher. It's going to be Edwin Diaz of the New York Mets. 11 1/3 innings pitched. So it's like he's not throwing as much as a starter, but it's across more appearances than a starter would have in a given month. 7 saves for the Mets, a 0.00 ERA. Didn't allow a run. He only allowed 2 hits and 1 walk. 3 people reached base against him all month. He had a negative FIP. And I still have not gotten confirmation on how that is humanly possible. Like, how do you give up negative runs? But he was absolutely phenomenal. He went to the All-Star game, didn't pitch because he was like, no, I've done this before. Let's let David Bednar pitch instead. So he's got a mature head on him. He's got the best walk-in song in baseball. He had some clutch saves against teams like the Braves. I think save against the Padres as well. He only allowed 3 people to reach base in 11 1/3 innings, and it didn't allow a run. I had to go with Edwin Diaz. I almost went with the guy you have, but I'm just like, if a reliever can't have a better month than this, why are they not the pitcher of the month? And I decided to do it. It was a bold pick from me because I don't think you regularly see relievers winning pitcher of the month, but I had to give it to Edwin Diaz.
He's ridiculous, and I'm upset that I didn't get to hear the trumpets at the All-Star game. But, I mean, he was ridiculous this month. But I ended up going with Merrill Kelly, who is also my surprise of the month because, I mean, he's having a great season. I'll get to him when we get to surprises. But this month, he was 6 starts with a 41 1/3 innings pitched with a 1.31 ERA. So, I mean, he was putting up the innings. He was going deep into games. I know he put up a great start against the Giants at one point. But he is doing ridiculous this month. Or he did ridiculous last month, and he got my pitcher of the month.
And I almost went with Merrill Kelly just for the fact he threw so many innings and pitched so well. And then I just pulled up his game log, which I'm trying to re-pull up again, because I know he had 3 starts against the Giants, and he pitched well in all of them. And I just wanted to see who else he had pitched well against in the month. Here it is. So he started the month on the 1st of July pitching against the Rockies. But after that, he went Giants, Padres, Giants, Braves. It is hard enough to throw against the same team 3 times in a month because they've seen you. Eventually, they're going to figure out your tendencies. But to throw, they threw 6 1/3 the first time, 7 the second time, and 8 the third time. He got better every time he pitched against the Giants, and they were a good team at that point. So it's hard enough to throw against a team 3 times in the month and have success each time. But then also in between those two, 6 innings, 1 earned run against the Padres, and finished out the month with a 7-inning, 3-hit, no-run performance against the Braves. Like he was fantastic. Would have easily been my pick if I went with a starting pitcher. Merrill Kelly has been fantastic this season, and he's not like that big strikeout guy, but he still has the ability to, like against the Braves, 8 Ks. He limits contact, and he's just a workhorse. I think the Diamondbacks may have found something in Merrill Kelly. Another guy maybe I was surprised wasn't traded.
Definitely, and he started in the KBO, which I learned the other day. So I mean, he came to All-MLB, and he's putting up a career year. He's been okay at best in the past, but he's insane this season. But AL pitcher, I gave it to my Cy Young pick, Dylan Cease, who this month went 35 2/3 innings pitched with a .76 ERA. I really hope he gets the Cy Young so I look like a genius, but I mean, he was definitely the Cy Young of this month.
We'll both look like geniuses if Dylan Cease wins the Cy Young. I remember we were talking about our fantasy drafts on one of our first episodes, and I was like, oh, I was so excited when I got to get some of my pitchers, Pablo Lopez, Framber Valdez, and then Dylan Cease. I mean, all three of those guys in the All-Star game, and Dylan Cease might have a chance at the Cy Young. One of the reasons I'm leading you in our fantasy league, although that could come to a pretty great culmination across these last couple of weeks because you're surging a little bit. But Dylan Cease, you mentioned a .76 ERA. That was only 3 earned runs in the entire month. All 3 of those solo homers, which means he did not allow a single runner on base to score all month across 30-plus innings pitched. Didn't allow one runner that reached base to score, and I just thought that was absolutely insane. One of the crazier stats that I've seen this season. Like, how do you not let someone on first, second, or third score at all point in the month? I just thought that was crazy.
It definitely is crazy. He put up an insane month. I mean, he deserved this award. Another pitcher who I gave my NL Rookie of the Month to, I think we both have him, is Spencer Strider, who went 26 2/3 innings pitched with a 2.7 ERA and almost a 14 Ks per 9 at 13.84. I mean, it seems like he's starting to run away with the NL Rookie of the Year. If he can keep his innings up, we haven't seen anyone surge. I think we both picked O'Neal Cruz, or we both had him at least in the conversation to be there. And I mean, he's shown flashes, but no Rookie of the Year type numbers, especially in the less amount of games played. So Spencer Strider, if the Braves keep giving him innings, he's looking to run away with this award.
Yeah, there's rumors that he might be on an innings limit, but he could have distanced himself from the pack at the time that happens. We saw, I think Luis Garcia from the Astros won last year, so it's definitely possible to have a rookie pitcher win the award. And if there's anyone this year, it's going to be Spencer Strider. He's been fantastic, and his strikeout numbers as a rookie are just, they blow me away. He keeps going like 13 strikeout performances, 12 strikeout performances. It's just wild what Spencer Strider has been able to do. I had him as well for my NL Rookie of the Month. My AL Rookie of the Month, I know, is different than yours. I went with Jose Miranda of the Twins, a .353 batting average, .405 OBP, a .603 slug. It gives him an OPS above 1,000. He also had 5 homers, 19 RBIs, and a .188 WRC+. I thought he was the best hitter in the American League. I thought I was considering him or Adley Rutschman, and just the RBI total for Jose Miranda, knocking in almost 20 runs in a given month as a rookie. I had to give him the award.
I saw Adley Rutschman. I was thinking about him, but I ended up going another pitcher for this award, Reed Detmers, who, he threw that no-hitter at the beginning of the year. Then he struggled. He got sent down, kind of wrote him off. But this month, 4-game start, so not as much as normal pitchers, but for the rookie. 24 innings pitched, so he went 6 innings to start with a 1.13 ERA. He was getting 11.63 Ks per 9. So he had a great month. All these rookies, the ones you mentioned, and then Adley Rutschman, they all had great months, but I ended up giving the award to Reed Detmers.
Yeah, I picked up Reed Detmers for a start in one of our fantasy games, and he has just been a different pitcher since coming back when he got sent down. I think they were just wanting to work on his pitch mix a little bit, and it definitely seems like it's been successful so far. He's been great since returning for the Angels. And it's kind of what they need. They need young pitchers that are going to perform well because they don't have a lot of money, but they also don't have any pitching. Let's quickly get through our surprises of the month and then round out the episode. For the NL surprise, I went with Alec Boehm of the Phillies. He was one of the best hitters in the league, the 6th best WRC plus in July, a 201 WRC plus, and an OPS near 1100 as well. I've never been high on Alec Boehm. I'm happy that he's surprising me and proving me wrong.
Yeah, Alec Boehm, he's having a great season. You see the highlights, which are his defensive lowlights, if you will. But he's put up a great season at the plate, and a great month. I went with Merrill Kelly, like I said. His whole season has been a surprise to me. He's a 2.87 ERA this season, believe it or not. But we talked about him already, but he was my surprise of the month. I was not high on him, but he's having a great season. My AL surprise, I didn't go with a player for this one. I went with the Mariners, who went 18-7 in the month, and they only had 1 loss to a team other than the Astros, who I think they went like 1-6 against. But 18-7 in the month total, and the only other loss was the A's on the 1st of the month. And after that loss on the 1st of the month, they proceeded to win 14 straight going into the All-Star break, and everyone in the baseball world kind of wrote them off. They were like, oh, another year. The Mariners aren't living up to expectations, but now they are in the thick of the playoff race. They made a splash with Luis Castillo and they look like a wild card team now.
Yeah, and they've added, you're right, they add Castillo. They proved me wrong for sure in the month. I talked about them earlier in the month, though, so I wanted to give someone else a little bit of love. AL surprise, I'm going Matt Chapman. I've always been lower on Matt Chapman than most. He's always been a good glove, but I didn't believe in the bat. And then he's been struggling last year and then earlier this year, but he had a great July. A 325 batting average, 396 on base percentage, and a slugging percentage just 1 point below 700 at 699. 9 homers, 22 RBIs, a WRC plus just below 200 at 199. Chappie, his glove has declined a tiny bit, but his bat skyrocketed in July and proved me wrong. Definitely surprised me, especially after his slow start out in Toronto. But that's all we got for you guys in this Double Play podcast episode. Hope you guys enjoyed us talking not only about the trade deadline, but also our All July awards. Ryan, anything you need to mention before we wrap it up?
No, but I was surprised you were launching Matt Chapman just real quick. Matt Chapman, I've always thought he's better than he is. So, but other than that, it was a great month of July. We had the All-Star game. It was fun to watch. But thank you guys for sticking with us here. And Jack, you want to take us out with the outro after this crazy trade deadline that was in July?
Yeah, absolutely. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you're watching here. Also, leave a like, leave a comment about your biggest trade deadline winners, your favorite move, all that kind of stuff. If you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, follow the show, leave a 5-star review, follow all of our socials down below. You'll want to follow the TikTok over 5K followers now, and we're going to have a vlog coming when we road trip all day on Sunday to Los Angeles for Dodgers Padres. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.